Welcome to the George Thomas Clark podcast. Today we're continuing our discussions and our readings about Vincent van Gogh. Over the next week or two, we're going to move from early in his life to later in his life and back, moving more in a thematic fashion rather than chronologically. Today we're talking about The Potato Eaters, which was a great work that he painted in 1885 when he was in his early 30s. And he had just been painting 2 or 3 years, and he was a very bright and talented guy, as well as disturbed. And he felt this overpowering need to test himself. And the best way for painters to test themselves is to paint a group of people. If you can do that, then you're really a heavy hitter. So Vincent spent months during the winter of 1884-85 drawing heads and hands and painting them as well, doing studies. And by April of 1885, he was ready to paint. And he did it in 3 weeks, which for him was an extremely long time. Most of his paintings before and after that were done in 1, 2, or 3 days. And this painting, when it was finished, really blew him away. He loved it. He knew that he'd done something special. And it would, in fact, be considered, and is considered by me and others, and almost anyone who's seen it, to be his first masterpiece. And it is such because he was able to capture the worn and humble faces of the peasants as they prepared to eat potatoes and drink coffee in their dark and dreary home. You can picture a cold winter night in Holland. And Vincent was a kind and modest man, and he painted these people just as they were, worn down by life. And that's very much like Vincent was. He was from an upper middle class family, unlike these people in many of his subjects, but he, due to his mental illnesses, was quite worn down. Now, even though this was a great painting, and I think should have been perceived as such immediately, his very supportive brother, supportive emotionally and aesthetically as well as financially, is Theo, the art dealer, told me he thought it was a terrible painting, and so did a friend of his who was an artist, and Vincent did not take that well at all. It's too bad that these otherwise supportive people missed the moment, because this was to be the only group portrait that Vincent van Gogh ever painted. I think in his torment he just had to get into and out of a painting rapidly. He couldn't torture himself over weeks and months, really, counting the preparation. Now, there are 5 people in this painting, and they're dining right now. I think they may be willing to talk to me. Let me knock on their door and read a piece for them and for you called The Potato Eaters. May I join you, please? I know I've caught you starting dinner, and it looks delicious. I love potatoes, too. May I have some? Oh, don't worry. I'll pay. I know you have little enough, but you have company and a warm home. No, I don't know Vincent, not personally, but believe me, he isn't making fun of you. He respects you and appreciates your difficulties. That's why he prepared studies before painting this scene. He wants people to enter your lives. But you feel he's portrayed you as simple and ugly? That's not what he means, I assure you. Vincent knows all of you wouldn't have he knows all of you would have flourished if raised in a family that provided books and education and opportunities. You're not to blame. Vincent isn't blaming anyone. It's fate, and it's not a bad one. That's right. You don't want to be Vincent, God help him, and you don't want to be any of his relatives, and you don't want to be me. You're happier than all of us. I agree. Please, let us have a cup of coffee, or is it tea? Thank you. Listen, in my truck outside, it's like a big wagon with an engine. I have some delicacies I think you'll like. May I? I begin dashing outside and back, carrying trays of potatoes, roasted, baked, boiled, scalloped, mashed, and French fried, and smothered in various combinations of bacon, cheese, sour cream, garlic, broccoli, and many spices. Here you are. Please, try these. What do you think? You love them? Fantastic. Would it be all right if Vincent joins us? He's never had anything like this either.